Welcome in to the play-by-play of the Phillips World New York at Phillies game. I'm just getting the game up here on the thing, and we will get started as soon as I get this up. Sports. Phillies. It's going, it's going, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Boy. Okay, there we go. Alright. Welcome into the play-by-play of the Phillies hosting the Mets here in the first half of the season. Now batting, AJ Irwin for the Mets. One ball to AJ Irwin. One ball, two strikes to AJ Irwin. The Mets starting lineup for tonight's game: AJ Irwin, Juan Soto, Boom, Bichette, Francisco Lindor, Benj, Polanco, Young, Beatty, Alvarez. Now batting the first, Juan Soto. Now batting for the Mets. One strike to Juan Soto with one gone here at the top of the first. One ball, two strikes to Juan Soto. Ball, 3-2 count to Juan Soto. Ball. Juan Soto singled to right center. Now batting for the Mets, Bo Bichette. Gone here at the top of the first. Juan Soto on first for the Mets. Cold strike one to Bo Bichette. 0-1 count to Bo Bichette with one gone here in the top of the first. Swinging strike. 0-2 count to Bo Bichette with one gone here in the top of the first, and Juan Soto on first. Foul ball. Remains 0-2 count to Bo Bichette. Oh, 2 count to Bo Bichette with one gone in the top of the first. Juan Soto on first for the Mets. Ball. 1-2 count to Bo Bichette. Let's get some Go Phillies in the chat here. Bo Bichette grounded into double play. Juan Soto out. 0 runs, 1 hit, no errors. Mets tied with Philly. 0-0. Here heading to the bottom of the first. Your Phillies due up here in the bottom of the first. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper. Once again, Turner, Schwarber, and Harper due up here in the bottom of the first for the Phillies. Once again, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Mets tied with Phillies 0-0, heading to the bottom of the first. Your Phillies batting order for tonight's game versus the New York Mets. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Brandon Marsh, Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, JT Realmuto, Gabriel Rincones Jr., and Justin Crawford. And tonight's starting pitcher for the Phillies, number 27, Aaron Nola. Your Phillies record is 54 wins, 43 losses, and 2 games behind first place in the NL East, behind the Atlanta Braves. And the Mets in 5th place with a record of 40-57. On Saturday, it'll be game 2 of this 3-game series between your Phillies and the New York Mets. Now batting for your Phillies, number 12, designated hitter Kyle Schwarber. Trey Turner lined out. One gone here in the bottom of the first. Cold strike. 0-1 count to Kyle Schwarber. Foul ball. 0-2 count to Kyle Schwarber. Oh, 2 count to Kyle Schwarber, flied out. Now batting for your Phillies, number 3, Bryce Harper. With 2 gone here in the bottom of the first. Cold strike. Strike 1 to Bryce Harper. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Ball 1. Strike swing. 1-2 count to Bryce Harper with 2 gone here at the bottom of the first. Foul! Remains 1-2 count to Bryce Harper. With 2 gone here in the bottom of the first. Harper struck out swinging. 1-2-3 goes your Phillies. Up to bat, head to the top of the second for the Mets. Francisco Lindor, Carson Bench, and Jorge Polanco. Once again, Harper struck out swinging. 1-2-3 goes the Phillies. On deck, or due up here in the top of the second for the Mets. Lindor, Bench, and Polanco. Jorge Polanco. Score is 0-0. Don't forget, we will be live Saturday at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time for Phillies versus Mets Game 2 between the Phillies and the Mets. Once again, first pitch at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 4:10 p.m. Pacific. Top of the second. Now batting for the Mets. Carson Benj. Top of the second, 0-0 to score. 0 balls, 0 strikes, 1 gone. Francisco Lindor flied out. Carson Benj now batting. Cold strike. 0-1 count to Carson Benj. Phillies and the Mets will have the day off tomorrow, but game 2 of this series will be Saturday at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:10 p.m. Pacific. Ball 1. 1-1 count to Carson Benj. One ball, 2 strikes to Carson Benj. Strikes winning. Carson Benj singled to left center. Carson Benj on first. Jorge Polanco now batting for the Mets with 1 gone here in the top of the second. Popped out. 2 gone here in the top of the second. Young now batting for the Mets with Benj on first. Ball 1 to Young. 1-0 count here. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Carson stole second. Carson Benj on second. 1-1 count to Young. One, two count to Young with 2 gone here in the top of the second. Benj on second. Top of the second. Score 0-0. Mets are batting. If the Phillies win tonight, they will only be 1 game behind the Atlanta Braves in the division. Phillies currently in second place in the NL East. The Mets are fifth in the NL East with a record of 40 and 57. Phillies are 53 and 40. No, 54 and 43. Jay Young struck out swinging. No runs, one hit, zero errors. Mets scoreless. Phillies scoreless. Heading to the bottom of the second as the Phillies do up. The Phillies do up here in the bottom of the second. Number 16, left fielder Brandon Marsh. Third baseman, number 28, Alec Bohm. And number 5, second baseman, Bryson Stott. Heading to the bottom of the second, the score, Mets 0, Phillies coming up to bat. Aaron Nola is at 26 pitches through 2 innings and 2 hits and 2 Ks. Tonight's game got started a little bit earlier because of air quality in Philadelphia. So that is why it started at 6:10 rather than its scheduled time 7:10, because they moved it up to air quality from the Canadian wildfires smoke coming over parts of the US. Now batting, Brandon Marsh. Called strike to Brandon Marsh. 0-1 count to Brandon Marsh with 0 outs and none on here in the bottom of the second. Brandon Marsh grounded out. 1 gone here in the bottom of the second. Now batting, number 28, third baseman, Alec Bohm. Once again, Phillies do not play tomorrow. They will play Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:10 Pacific. Code strike to Alec Bohm. 0-1 count to Alec Bohm. 0-2 count to Alec Bohm. Called strike for strike 2. 0-2 count to Alec Bohm with 1 gone here in the bottom of the second. Scoreless here in the bottom of the second. Alec Bohm grounded out. 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. Now batting, second baseman number 5, Bryson Stott. Ball 1 to Bryson Stott. 1-0 count to Bryson Stott with 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. Ball two to Bryson Stott. On deck for the Phillies, number 10, catcher JT Realmuto. Called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike to Bryson Stott. Ball remains foul ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count with 2 gone here in about a second for Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott struck out swinging. 0 runs, 0 hits, 0 errors. Scoreless as we head to the top of the third with the Mets 0. The Phillies 0. Heading to the top of the third. Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez, and AJ Irwin due up for the Mets. Here heading to the top of the third. Once again, Beatty, Alvarez, and Irwin due up for the Mets. Here in the top of the third. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can share this channel and grow it as much as we can with hopefully getting with a reachable goal of 1,000 subscribers. So we ask you to do a favor. Please subscribe and like the video if you are watching. So it helps us get to 1,000 subscribers. And we also do parts of my life stuff too. Now batting for the Mets, Brett Beatty. Strike 1 to Beatty. 0-1 count. Ball, 1-1 count. Brett Beatty flied out. 1 gone here in the top of the third. Francisco Alvarez now batting for the Mets. Cold strike. 0-1 count. Foul ball. 0-2 count. With one gone here in the top of the third. Ball. One count. Francisco Alvarez homered 438 feet to deep center. That puts the Mets up 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies here in the top of the third. Now batting, AJ Irving for the Mets. Once again, Mets lead it 1-0 on the Francisco Alvarez homer. Over your the Mets lead over your Philadelphia Phillies 1-0 here in the top of the third. With one gone here in the top of the third. Strike swinging. 0-1 count to AJ Irving. Foul! 0-2 count to AJ Irving with one gone here in the top of the third. Ball one. 1-2 count to AJ Irving. And struck out swinging, 2 gone here in the top of the third. Batting for the Mets, Juan Soto. Two balls, no strikes to Juan Soto. Top of the third with 2 gone here in the top of the third. Ball 3. 3-0 count to Juan Soto with 2 gone here in the top of the third. Mets lead it 1-0 over the cold strike. 3-1 count. Juan Soto walked. Now batting for the Mets, Bo Bichette with Juan Soto on first. Aaron Nola is at 42 pitches. As the Mets lead it 1-0 over the Phillies here in the top of the third. Ball one, 1-0 count to Bo Bichette. Called strike. 1-1 count to Bo Bichette with 2 gone here in the top of the third. Juan Soto on first. Football remains, the count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette struck out swinging. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. As the Mets lead it 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies heading to the bottom of the third. Due up for the Phillies here in the bottom of the third, JT Realmuto, Gabriel Rincones Jr., and Justin Crawford. Once again, JT Realmuto and Cones Jr. and Justin Crawford due up here in the bottom of the third. Mets lead it 1-0 over Philadelphia Phillies. Now batting. JT Realmuto single to center. JT Realmuto on first. Now batting, number 17. Right fielder Gabriel Rincones Jr. for your Phillies. JT Realmuto on first. Nobody gone here in the bottom of the third. Foul ball! Called strike. 0-2 count to Gabriel Rincones Jr. 0 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. JT Realmuto on first. Gabriel Rincones Jr. now batting. Foul ball! Remains 0-2 count to Gabriel Rincones Jr. For your Phillies. Be sure to join us on September 5th at 3:30 for the Penn State Nittany Lions versus the Marshall Thundering Herd. Once again, kickoff is Saturday, September 5th at 3:30. Be sure to also join us Saturday at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:10 Pacific Time, p.m. Pacific, for the Phillies versus the Mets, Game 2 of this 3-game series on Saturday at 4:10 p.m. Pacific, 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Ball 1 to Justin Crawford. Gabriel Rincones Jr. struck out on a foul tip. 1 gone here in the bottom of the third. Ball 1 to Justin Crawford. Justin Crawford popped out. Now batting for your Phillies, number 7, shortstop Trey Turner, with 2 gone here in the bottom of the third. Mets lead it 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. JT Realmuto on first. Ball 1 to Trey Turner. 1-0 count to Trey Turner. One count to Trey Turner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trey Turner, with 2 gone here in the bottom of the third. JT Realmuto on first. Trey Turner struck out swinging. 0 runs, 1 hit, 0 errors. Mets lead it 1-0 over your Phillies. Heading to the top of the fourth. The Mets due up here in the top of the fourth. Francisco Lindor, Carson Bench, and Jorge Polanco, as the Mets lead it 1-0 over the Phillies. Heading to the top of the fourth. Once again, we will be live Saturday, September 5th at 3:30 for the Penn State Nittany Lions football season opener at home between your Penn State Nittany Lions and the Marshall Thundering Herd. Once again, Saturday, September 5th at 3:30 between Penn State and Marshall Thundering Herd. Now batting for the Mets, number 12, shortstop Francisco Lindor. Foul ball, 0-1 count to Francisco Lindor. One strike to Francisco Lindor here in the top of the fourth. 0 outs. None on. Ball. 1-1 count to Francisco Lindor. Strike swinging. One ball. Two strikes to Francisco Lindor. With nobody on, nobody out. Here in the Mets lead 1-0 over your Phillies. Francisco Lindor grounded out. One gone here in the top of the fourth. Carson Bench now batting for the Mets. Carson Bench grounded out. Now batting for the Mets. Designated hitter Jorge Polanco. With 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the fourth for the Mets. Cold strike. 0-1 count to Jorge Polanco. Jorge Polanco grounded out. 0 runs, 0 hits, 0 errors. Mets lead 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Due up for your Phillies here in the bottom of the fourth. Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Brandon Marsh. Once again, Mets lead over the Phillies 1-0, heading to the bottom of the fourth. we will be live next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend for the Yankees versus the Phillies. We will have all 3 games coverage of that play-by-play game between the Yankees and your Philadelphia Phillies. If you subscribe, you get a shout out. And the next stream we have, which will be Saturday. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kyle Schwarber. Strike swing. Ball. 1-1 count to Kyle Schwarber. Two balls, 1 strike to Kyle Schwarber. Strike swinging. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Kyle Schwarber. Nola, 53 pitches, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Kyle Schwarber struck out swinging 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Now batting, your first base, please, number 3, Bryce Harper. Strike 1, called strike. 0-1 count to Bryce Harper. And comment down below, who do you want to win, Phillies or Mets? Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryce Harper. With Kyle Schwarber struck out swinging 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th. Called ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Bryce Harper. Harper doubled to right center. Harper on second. Now batting for your Phillies, number 16, left fielder Brandon Marsh. On deck for your Phillies, third baseman, number 28, Alec Boehm. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Brandon Marsh, strike 1. 0-1 count to Brandon Marsh. One ball, 1 strike to Brandon Marsh with 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th. Bryce Harper on second. Mets lead 1-0 over your Phillies. Foul! 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brandon Marsh. Foul ball, remains 1-2 count to Brandon Marsh with Harper on second. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brandon Marsh with 1 gone here in the bottom of the fourth. Ball, 2-2 count to Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh flied out. 2 gone here in the bottom of the fourth. Bryce Harper on second, and now batting for your home. Ball 1-0 count to Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm popped out. 0 runs, 1 hit, 0 errors. The Mets still lead your Phillies 1-0 heading to the top of the fifth. The Mets still up here in the top of the fifth. Young, Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez. Aaron Nola is at 53 pitches, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. Now batting for the Mets. Called strike. 0-1 count to Jay Young. Ball 1 to Jay Young. Two balls, one strike to Jay Young. Two balls, one strike to Jay Young. Here in the top of the fifth, nobody on for the Mets. Two balls, two strikes to Jay Young. Three balls, two strikes, full count. Here in the top of the fifth, 0 outs, none on, top of the fifth. Jay Young walked. Jay Young on first, Brett Beatty now batting for the Mets. One on, nobody out, top of the fifth. Jay Young on first for the Mets. As the Mets lead your Phillies 1-0. Here in the top of the fifth. Ball 1-0 count to Brett Beatty. One count to Brett Beatty. Foul ball. Two balls, two strikes. Foul ball. 2-2 count to Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty singled to center. Jay Young to second. Francisco Alvarez now batting for the Mets. Brett Beatty singled to center. Brett Beatty on first. Jay Young on second. 0 outs here in the top of the fifth. Ball 1 to Francisco Alvarez. Ball 1. Ball 2. 2-0 count to Francisco Alvarez. Three balls, no strikes to Francisco Alvarez. Three balls, one strike, Francisco Alvarez. Francisco Alvarez walked. Bases loaded. AJ Irwin now batting for the Mets. 0 outs. Bases loaded for the Mets as AJ Irwin is batting. AJ Irwin now batting for the Mets with the bases loaded for the Mets here in the top of the fifth. 0 outs. Bases loaded. Mets lead 1-0 over the Phillies here in the top of the fifth. Ball one to AJ Irwin. 1-0 count to AJ Irwin. AJ Irwin. Yeah. Three balls. Wait, what happened? AJ Irwin lined in. Juan Soto intentionally walked. AJ Irwin lined in to double play. Francisco Alvarez out. Juan Soto intentionally walked. Bases loaded again. 2 outs and bases loaded here in the top of the fifth. With the Mets leading 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Bo Bichette now batting for the Mets. Strike swinging. 0-1 count to Bo Bichette. Strike swinging. 0-2 count to Bo Bichette with 2 outs, bases loaded. With 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Bases loaded. Mets lead 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Ball one. 1-2 count to Bo Bichette. Foul ball. Remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette flied out. Phillies get out of the here in the top of the 5th. The score, Mets 1, Phillies 0. As Bo Bichette flied out, 0 runs, 1 hit, 0 errors. Mets lead the Phillies still 1-0 here heading to the bottom of the 5th. Your Phillies do appear in the bottom of the 5th. Bryson Stott, JT Realmuto, and Gabriel Rincones Jr. Once again, Bryson Stott, JT Realmuto, and Gabriel Rincones Jr. do up for your Phillies here in the bottom of the 5th. Mets lead 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Now batting number 5, second baseman Bryson Stott. Ball 1 to Bryson Stott. 1 out to Bryson Stott with 0 outs, none on here in the bottom of the ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryson Stott. Strike swinging. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bryson Stott. Ball. 2-2 count to Bryson Stott. Foul ball. 2-2 count to Bryson Stott. Foul ball! Remains 2-2 count to Bryson Stott. Here in the bottom of the fifth, 0 outs, none on. The Mets lead over your Phillies 1-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Bryson Stott struck out swinging. 1 gone here in the bottom of the fifth. JT Realmuto now batting for the Phillies. Cold strike. Realmuto grounded out. 2 gone here in the bottom of the fifth. Gabriel and Crones Jr. now batting for your Phillies. Two gone here in the bottom of the fifth. Strike swinging. 0-1 count to Gabriel Rincones Jr. 1-1 count to Gabriel Rincones Jr. Was 1 strike to Gabriel Rincones Jr. Foul ball. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gabriel Rincones Jr. with 2 gone here in the bottom of the fifth. Number for your Phillies. As the Mets lead it 1-0 here in the bottom of the fifth over your Philadelphia Phillies. Ball. Full count to Gabriel Rincones Jr. Foul ball remains full count to Gabriel Rincones Jr. Foul ball remains 3-2 count to Gabriel Rincones Jr. Gabriel Rincones Jr. struck out looking. 0 runs, 0 hits, 0 errors. New York Mets still lead your Philadelphia Phillies heading to the top of the sixth. 1-0 over the Phillies. heading to the top of the sixth. The Mets do up in the top of the sixth. Francisco Lindor, Carson Bench, and Jorge Polanco. Now batting, number 12, shortstop, Francisco Lindor for the Mets. Now batting for the Mets, shortstop, Francisco Lindor. Called strike one. 0-1 count to Francisco Lindor. Foul ball. 0-2 count to Francisco Lindor. With 0 outs, none on. Here in the top of the sixth. Francisco Lindor grounded out. Carson Bench now batting. One gone here in the top of the sixth with nobody on. Ball one. 1-0 count to Carson Bench. Called strike. 1-1 count to Carson Bench. Carson Bench reached on Trey Turner fielding error. Carson Bench on first. Now batting for the Mets, Jorge Polanco. Carson Bench stole second. Jorge Polanco, ball. 1-0 count to Jorge Polanco. Here in the top of the sixth. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Two balls, 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Two balls, 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco with Carson Bench on second. Jorge Polanco struck out. 2 gone here in the top of the sixth. Mets lead 1 here in the top of the sixth. As now batting Jay Young for the Mets. Aaron Nola is at 88, 5 2/3, 5.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 5 Ks. Strikes winning to Jay Young. Carson Bench on second. 2 gone here in the top of the sixth. Strike swinging, 0-2 count to Jay Young. Jay Young struck out on foul tip. 0 runs, 0 hits, 1 error. New York Mets lead your Philadelphia Phillies 1-0 here in heading to the bottom of the sixth. Your Phillies do appear in the bottom of the sixth. Justin Crawford, Trey Turner, and Kyle Schwarber. Once again, Mets lead 1-0 over your Phillies. Come watch us do a play-by-play of the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks Week 5 of the NFL rivalry matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. That date is the date that the 49ers play the Seattle Seahawks is October 11th at 4:25 p.m. 1:25 p.m. Pacific 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. October 11th, 6 days between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Strike one to Justin Crawford. 0-2 count to Justin Crawford. Called strike. Foul ball remains 0-2 count to Justin Crawford. Ball. 1-2 count to Justin Crawford. Trey Turner on deck for your Phillies. Justin Crawford grounded out. Now batting for your Phillies, number 7 shortstop Trey Turner. One ball, no strikes to Trey Turner. Two balls, no strikes to Trey Turner. Strike two balls, one strike to Trey Turner with one gone here in the bottom of the 6th. Trey Turner lined out. Now batting number 12, designated hitter for your Phillies, Kyle Schwarber. With two gone, nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th. Mets lead 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's free to do. And don't forget to watch us on Saturday for a matchup of the same exact matchup between your Phillies and the Mets. This Saturday, July 18th at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:10 p.m. Pacific. Foul ball. 0-1 count to Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber doubled to deep right field. Kyle Schwarber on Bryce Harper now batting for your Philadelphia Phillies. Kyle Schwarber on second. Two gone here in the bottom of the 6th. Bryce Harper now batting. Now batting for your Phillies, number 3, first baseman Bryce Harper with 2 gone. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Kyle Schwarber doubled to deep right center field. And bottom of the 6th, Kyle Schwarber's on second, 2 gone. Bryce Harper is batting for your Philadelphia Phillies. B. Rayleigh relieved C. Scott. New pitcher for the Mets. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Now pitching for the Mets, B. Rayleigh. Once again, new pitcher for the Mets. Facing number 3, first baseman Bryce Harper for your Phillies. Don't forget to join us September 5th at 3:30 p.m. between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Marshall Thundering Herd in Happy Valley in State College, Pennsylvania, between Penn State and Marshall Thundering Herd for Penn State's first home game and first game of the season for the college football season. Once again, that's September 5th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. One ball, no strikes to Bryce Harper. With 2 in the bottom of the 6th. No strikes to Bryce Harper. With 2 gone, here in the 6th, Kyle Schwarber on second. Kyle Schwarber caught stealing. Harper walked. Gone. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Harper walked. 1 on third, first. For the Phillies. Now batting for the Phillies, Brendan Marsh. Called strike. 0-2 count to Brandon Marsh. Foul ball. Remains 0-2 count to Brandon Marsh with 2 gone. 2 on for Brandon Marsh in the bottom of the 6th as the Mets lead 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Brandon Marsh struck out swinging. 0 runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Mets are still on top, heading to the top of the seventh. Once again, Mets are on top. 1-0, heading to the top of the 7th inning. As 0 runs, 1 hit, 1 error. As the Mets lead it 1-0 over Philadelphia, heading to the top of the 2nd. The Mets do up here in the top of the 7th. Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez, and AJ Irving. Once again, Beatty, Alvarez, and Irving do up for the Mets here in the top of the. Once again, 0 runs, 1 hit, 2 errors. Mets still lead the Phillies heading to the top of the 7th. 1-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Once again, make sure to like and subscribe if you like what you're watching to get us to 1,000 subscribers goal for this channel. Once again, we do most Phillies games and we do 49ers games, NFL games. We do Penn State college football. We do Bucknell basketball. We do Bucknell college football. We do whatever's on my thing. Brett Beatty, homered 401 feet to deep right center field. Mets lead it 2-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Francisco Alvarez now batting. At bat for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez. Foul ball. 0-1 count to Francisco Alvarez. As the Mets lead it 2-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies here in the top of the 7th. 0 outs, nobody on for Francisco Alvarez. Foul ball. Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Francisco Alvarez for the Mets. 2 balls, 1 strike to Francisco Alvarez here on the top of the 7th. 3 balls, 1 strike. to Francisco Alvarez. Francisco Alvarez homered 384 feet to deep left center field. Mets now lead the game over your Philadelphia Phillies 3-0 here in the top of the seventh. Now batting, AJ Irwin. Jake Boland. Now relief for Aaron Nola. Pitching change for the Phillies as they are down 3-0 over the New York Mets. Here in the top of the seventh, AJ Irwin batting after the pitching change is done. Top of the seventh, 0 outs, none on. Mets lead it 3-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. I will appreciate it if you guys all subscribe. It really helps to get us to 1,000 subscriber goal, and so I can film on my phone, so you guys don't miss a beat of my life and sports, like video live streams from the beach, Disney World, obviously sports, and around our neighborhood and house, and around town. So be sure to subscribe to Phillips World. Because you will not want to miss the upcoming videos I have in store. AJ Irwin grounded out. Now batting for the Mets. Jake. Or no. Now batting for the Mets. Juan Soto. 0 on 1 out here in the top of the seventh. The Mets lead it over your Philadelphia Phillies here in the top of the seventh. 3-0. Ball 1 to Juan Soto. Foul ball remains 1-1 count to Juan Soto. Foul ball. Called strike. Foul ball. Remains 1-2 count to Juan Soto. with 1 out here in the top of the seventh. 0 on, 1 out here in the top of the seventh. Mets lead it 3-0. Foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball remains. The count is now 2-2 count to Juan Soto with 1 gone here in the top of the seventh. Ball. Full count to Juan Soto. Juan Soto walked for the second time tonight. Bo Bichette now batting for the Mets. 0 outs, 1 on, 1 on first. Bo Bichette now batting. Here in the top of the seventh. Mets lead 3-0. Your Philadelphia Phillies. Strike 1 to Bo Bichette. Foul ball. 0-2 count to Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette grounded into double play. Juan Soto out. Due up for your Phillies here in the bottom of the seventh. Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, and JT Realmuto. Mets still lead the Phillies 3-0. Once again, Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, and JT Realmuto. Bo Bichette rounded into double play. Juan Soto out. Mets 3, Phillies 0, heading to the bottom of seventh in Philadelphia. Brisbane Bra, Bra, Broza, Brazoban relieved B. Rayleigh. Alec Boehm grounded out. Now batting for your Phillies, number 5, second baseman Bryson Stott. Foul ball. Ball called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bryson Stott. One ball, 2 strikes to Bryson Stott with 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Bryson Stott flied out. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Now batting for your Phillies, number catcher JT Realmuto. Ball 1. 1-0 count to JT Realmuto. Foul ball. 1-1 count to JT Realmuto with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Mets lead it 3-0 over Philadelphia. Foul ball, strikes winning. 1-2 count to JT Realmuto. Ball. 2-2 count to JT Realmuto. Three balls, 2 strikes to JT Realmuto with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. JT Realmuto grounded out. 0 runs, 0 hits, 0 errors. Mets lead it 3-0 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Heading to the top of the eighth, the Mets do appear in the top of the eighth. Francisco Lindor, Carson Bench, and Jorge Polanco. Once again, make sure to like and subscribe if you like what you're watching so we can do more streaming like this, including NFL football, Penn State and Bucknell football, 49ers football, Bucknell basketball, college basketball, Bucknell football, Phillies, and life. So we can live stream from wherever we're from, no matter if we're in Delaware or camping or Disney, we could be live. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so we can go live from where we can. Heading to the top of the eighth, the score: Mets 3, Phillies 0. Francisco Lindor, Carson Bench, and Jorge Polanco due up for the Mets here in the top of the eighth. Once again, we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could hit that subscribe button and share the stream, it really helps us out. Now, batting for the Mets, Francisco Lindor. Seth Johnson now pitching for your Phillies. Francisco Lindor flied out. One gone. Here in the top of the eighth. Now being Carson Bench for the Mets. Once again, we do Phillies games, we do 49ers games, we do college football games, we do Bucknell basketball, we do Bucknell football, we do everything that you can think of. 49ers NFL football, Penn State football, Bucknell basketballs, and Phillies. And yes. So make sure to like and subscribe to this another video and live stream of my life. Jorge Polanco lined out. Gabriel Rincones Jr., Justin Crawford, and Trey Turner due up here in the bottom of the eighth. Once again, we will be live Saturday, September 5th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Penn State Nittany Lions opening college football game between the Thundering Herd. Once again, Marshall Thundering Herd at Penn State, September 5th. And first week of college football, September 5th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. Saturday between Penn State and Marshall Herd. Between Marshall Thundering Herd, the Penn State Nittany Lions football team on September 5th, Saturday, September 5th at 3:30. And we will also be live Sunday, October 11th, when the 49ers host when the 49ers October 11th at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time for Niners at the Seahawks NFL Week 5 game between the rivals, the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Gabriel Rincones Jr. flied out. Luke Weaver now batting. Or now pitching. Scratch that. Gabriel Rincones Jr. flied out. Luke Weaver now pitching. Tyrone Taylor in left field for the Mets. Now batting for your Phillies, number 2. Center fielder Justin Crawford. Called strike. 0-1 count to Justin Crawford. Justin Crawford popped out. 2 gone. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Now batting for your shortstop, number 7, Trey Turner. With 2 gone. Nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Here in the bottom of the 8th. As the Mets lead your Phillies 3-0. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Luke Weaver now batting. Or now pitching. Once again, Luke Weaver now pitching for the Mets. Trey Turner now batting for your Phillies. Justin Crawford popped out. Gabriel Rincones flied out. Trey Turner homered to 397 feet to deep left center field. Your Phillies are on the board. Mets 3, Phillies 1. Here in the bottom of the eighth, now batting for your Phillies, designated hitter number 12, Kyle Schwarber. On deck for your Phillies, first baseman number 3, Bryce Harper. In the hole for your Phillies, left fielder number 16, Brandon Marsh. 2 gone here in the bottom of the eighth. Now batting Kyle Schwarber. Called strike. 0-1 count to Kyle Schwarber. Once again, we will be live Saturday at 7:10 p.m. Eastern for the Phillies versus the Mets. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:10 p.m. Pacific. Ball. 1-1 count to Kyle Schwarber. Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber grounded out. 1 run, 1 hit. Mets lead the Phillies 3-1 over your Philadelphia Phillies. Once again, Mets lead 3-1 over your Philadelphia Phillies. But thanks to Trey Turner, he gets the Phils on the board. Head to the top of the ninth. The New York Mets do up here in the ninth. Jared Young, Brett Beatty, and Francisco Alvarez. Jared Young. Yes, that was correct. Young, Brett Beatty, and Francisco Alvarez do up for the Mets here in the top of the ninth. Now batting for the Mets, Jared Young. Brett Beatty on deck. Now pitching for your Phillies, Seth Johnson. Jared Young, ball, 2-0 count to Jared Young. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jared Young here in the top of the ninth. 0 outs, none, top of the ninth. Ball. 3-1 count to Jared Young. Foul ball remains. The count is now full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jared Young. Jared Young walked. Now batting for the Mets, Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty flied out. 1 gone here in the top of the 9th. Francisco Alvarez now batting for the Mets. Called strike. Oh, 1 count to Francisco Alvarez. 1-1 count to Francisco Alvarez. Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Francisco Alvarez. Foul ball. Swinging strike remains 2-2 count to Francisco Alvarez. Francisco Alvarez struck out swinging. Now batting AJ Irwin. Ball 1. 1-0 count to AJ Irwin. Called strike. 1-1 count to AJ Irwin with 2 gone here in the top of the 9th. As the Mets lead the Phillies 3-1 here in the top of the 9th. Called strike. 1-2 count to AJ Irwin. AJ Irwin double to left. Young scored 4-1. Mets lead the Phillies now. Mets lead 4-1 after AJ Irwin doubled to left. Jared Young scored. Tyrone Taylor now batting for the Mets. Called strike. 0-1 count to Tyrone Taylor. Call swinging strike. 0-2 count to Tyrone Taylor. Tyrone Taylor struck out swinging. 1 run, 1 hit, 0 errors. Mets lead your Phillies 4-1. Heading to the bottom of the ninth. The Phillies are down to their last 3 outs. The Phillies due up here in the bottom of the ninth. Bryce Harper, Brandon Marsh, and Alec Bohm. Here in the bottom of the ninth. Once again, Harper, Marsh, and Bohm due up here in the bottom of the ninth. As the Mets lead the Phillies 4-1, heading to the bottom of the ninth inning. 3 outs to go as the Phillies are down to their last 3 outs to save the game. Once again, make sure to join us September 5th, Saturday, September 5th at 3:30 for the Penn State Nittany Lions versus Marshall Thundering Herd. They will play the opening game for the Penn State football season between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Marshall Thundering Herd. They play Saturday, September 5th at 3:30 in Happy Valley State College. Be sure to join us Saturday, September 5th as the Penn State Nittany Lions open their 2026-2027 season with Marshall Thundering Herd for their opening game in Happy Valley in State College, Pennsylvania, as the Marshall Thundering Herd will try to create an upset over the Matt Campbell and the Penn State Nittany Lions football team. We will be live streaming that Saturday, September 5th, so be loud and come here. So be sure to join us Saturday, September 5th for the Marshall Thundering Herd versus Penn State Nittany Lions football game. Now batting for your Phillies, number 3, first baseman Bryce Harper. Foul ball, 0-1 count to Bryce Harper. Here in the bottom. Foul ball. Swinging strike ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bryce Harper. Ball. 2-2 count. 2-2 count to Bryce Harper. 0 outs, none on. Here in the bottom of the ninth. Mets up 4-1 over your Phillies. Bryce Harper grounded out. 1 gone. Here in the bottom of the ninth. Now batting for your Phillies, Brandon Marsh. Strike one to Brandon Marsh. Foul ball. Strike 1 to Brandon Marsh. Ball. 1-1 count to Brandon Marsh. With 1 gone. Nobody on here in the bottom of the ninth. With 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandon Marsh. 0 outs, none on. Bottom of the ninth. Once again. 2 balls, 1 strike, 0. 1 out. With nobody on. Bottom of the ninth. Phillies down to their last out. Your Phillies are down to the last out as the Mets lead 4-1 here in the bottom of the ninth over your Philadelphia Phillies. Now batting for your Phillies, third baseman, number 28, Alec Bohm. Strikes winning 0-1 count to Alec Bohm. Foul ball. Oh, the Phillies are down to their last strike. Foul ball. 0-2 count to Alec Bohm. One ball, 2 strikes. Phillies down to their last strike. And that's the end of the game. The score. Mets win it here in the first game of the series. The final score. Mets 4. Phillies 1. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and we will see you this Saturday, for Game 2 of this 3-game between the New York Mets and your Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch for Saturday's game will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you then.